She truly is the craziest person that's ever
No,
lived.
that was the thing with when I was doing research, I was like, this, I can't, like, everything I read is more and more absurd.
It's like we invented a person. She started just living.
Oh,
uh,
oh my goodness. That might be the cold open for the episode. We're gonna Manic
Pixie. Jump
Jump
scare.
Scare. Hosted by Quinn Murphy.
And Becca Hobart. Hi,
Hi,
we're
we're
Quinn
Quinn.
and we're
And we're
Becca.
Becca. And welcome to Manic Pixie Jump Scare, a podcast where we talk openly about our shared delusions
Passions and
and
love
love
for each
for each
other.
other. My God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful yet again.
Literally.
Life changing every time. Love singing with you. Um, so yes, we are back, everyone,
Yes.
for our second deep dive, which is so exciting
It's
because it's not the
crazy.
first, but it's the second. So
Yeah.
look at that growth.
Literally. Yeah.
Exponentially, you could
We
say.
learned so much from the last time we did this.
Yeah.
Um
And as you may have guessed, we are talking about the one and only Julia
Julia
Fox,
Fox.
number 2 on the
Yes.
stand list.
Oh my God.
So, as we did last week, or whenever that cold brew episode came out, who's to say? Hands off. Um, we're gonna catch up about sort of our first encounters with Julia
Mhm.
because she kind of came out of nowhere. So
Yes.
I'm really curious to hear, Quinn, how you first encountered Miss Fox and what you thought of her at the time, maybe also.
Yeah, I feel like I'm very much kind of your regular Joe in that I had no idea what a Julia Fox was until her appearance on Call Her Daddy. Um,
Mm.
I'm not a Call Her Daddy listener, but it was a pretty the meme crossed over, of course, where she's being interviewed and when she says, "Well, I was Josh Safdie's muse when he wrote Uncut Gems." Um,
And she was so true for that.
literally, and I watched the video the first time and I was like, "Huh." And then it had an intoxicating quality to it where I did become obsessed with the way in which she said uncut jams.
It's such a specific, it's so specific.
Yes. And it's just, it's something that's like innocuous enough where it's dumb. It's like, it's, it's innocuous. It's like when you have a bad taste in your mouth, but you kind of can't stop yourself from like wanting to taste it again, if that makes sense. Like it's so
Mm. Mm.
innocuous that and you can't understand why it's funny, but it is so funny.
Yeah. Yeah. And I
And
think
like you
that's why
do,
it
I guess you
changed
cognitively
the world.
yes, you cognitively understand why it's funny because she like said the word kind of funny, but you're like, okay, but what about that has a lasting impact on my neurology? And so
Yeah.
that was the question I had asked myself. And
Yeah.
so it had to be a couple days after I saw the meme that I'm like, okay, so who is this woman? I need to know. Um,
Great question.
and I did not watch Uncut Gems. I did not watch any of her other film work, anything like that. I did, however, watch an Instagram live, I believe she had done, that was reposted on
Mm.
YouTube about how to do her signature eyeliner.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was like, okay, I'm sold.
Yeah. She's done it.
Yeah, this woman's a
She has done
genius.
it.
I it's undeniable. She had an
Mhm.
undeniable star quality to her.
Yeah.
Um, and so yeah, that was kind of my, and then ever since then, I've just been really, she's been kind of, then there was the whole Vanity Fair Oscars party, and that launched a whole other thing, which I kind of love more than Uncut Gems because I believe the memes from that were even better. Because
Mm-hmm.
she gave us a lot
Mm-hmm.
of material to work with that night. Um, and so yeah, I'm just obsessed with her.
Yeah. I truly I also like when I first fell in love with her, which is
Mm-hmm.
what happened to me. I had truly no idea to the extent which I would love her, which is so deeply.
Yes, yeah.
Like
I
she
feel the
has
same way.
become one of my favorite people on earth.
Oh, 1,000%. I feel the
And
exact same way.
actually, Quinn, I think I'm going to do something crazy right now. Something that has literally never been done before.
This is
But I feel
scary.
as though it is because I want to use my political power in the MB, MPJCU, and I would like to override and actually put Julia Fox over cold brew on the stand list. And I'm gonna give you the right to veto.
Oh my God.
It's just something
That's
that I
crazy.
honestly do think needs to be done.
So I have a couple thoughts on this.
Okay,
So
okay.
originally when we did the stand list episode,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted there to be I wanted there to be like this almost when you start a game of basketball, there's what's called a jump ball. And they
Uh-huh.
throw the basketball up in the air and the sides kind of like vie for it.
Yeah.
Um,
It happens in lacrosse too, actually.
yes, okay. So
Yeah.
I wanted there to be a jump ball at the beginning of the stand list in
Mm-hmm.
which Becca and I, because I thought Becca and I were very syncopated in that we would both say Julia Fox was the first person on the
Yeah.
stand list. And so I wanted there to just be a moment where we just went 1, 2, 3, and then we both said Julia Fox. However, I do
Mm-hmm.
not think in that moment and in that way we were as syncopated with each other. And
I failed you,
so
basically. I failed you.
I don't want to say
I will admit
that
that.
because I don't want to say that at all. I'm putting
Okay.
words into my mouth, my co-host.
All
Um,
right.
but yeah, so I always imagined Julia being number one on the stand list.
Mm-hmm.
However, I feel like the stand list is non-hierarchical in nature.
I do agree with you,
Like
but
it's
I do
not
think,
like I don't know what putting Julia at number one would do because then it gets into a territory of like then we have to start to like, you know, is the corner of Oakland and Bates really then number 20? Is it
okay,
behind
this is,
2000s pop music? Is it in front of it? And so I think that opens up a can of worms for us.
mm-hmm.
And so I don't know.
That's interesting.
Hmm.
Okay. So how about we say it's it's floating around
Hmm.
the floor at the moment.
Yes.
We're currently in we're in filibuster about it.
The
I'm
filibuster.
filibustering.
The filibuster.
Yeah, yeah, I'm filibustering. And it's something that we can continue to bring up, but I just had to make that, I guess. Okay, sure, that was showmanship that I like Julia more than cold brew now.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
I would say the same thing, but I just don't know if I don't know if I want the list to be like a whole like hierarchy thing.
yeah. Okay. I get that. I get that. Well, I guess I will that really sets our listeners up to be so excited to learn about Julia because it's
Literally.
truly crazy.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I first encountered her because I did watch
Work.
Uncut Gems,
Uncut jobs.
and I literally, she is one of those people. I saw her and I was like, let me Google who that woman is because she's very beautiful to me,
Hmm.
and I've
Yeah.
never seen her before. So then I was like very aware of her after that. And then she started dating Kanye, and
Hmm.
I was like, oh wow. Like I just saw her for who she was, and I was like, she is a fame
Hmm.
monster to some degree.
Literally,
And I
yeah.
respect that so much about her.
Hmm.
She's an artist in that way. So yeah, and everything she said since I've known her has only deepened my love for her.
Yeah.
Because
Hmm.
she says the craziest things. And I store them on my phone as
Like they're completely
clips.
normal too.
Exactly. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think we're kind of adequately caught up because I'm like I'm like actually clamoring to get to the second part because
Literally.
I do want to talk about the research project we did on Julia Fox in preparation for this
Exactly.
podcast.
Like it's crazy. So
Okay.
yeah.
So that is our background on Julia Fox. We are going to throw to a little break and then we are going to be back to discuss the history of Julia Fox.
Julia. Mm-hmm.
Guys, I'm scared.
Jump! And we're back. So, as I said in the first block, I didn't know what Julia Fox was really, what she was giving, that she even existed before the whole uncut gems of it all.
Mm-hmm.
And so, in preparation for this podcast, Becca and I like to do a good amount of research into our subjects, see what's going on with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say, researching Miss Fox only not only made me love her more, but so much affirmed her place on this list. Because
So hard.
and it's like what you said, Becca. It's like it seems like she like shot out on the scene.
Mm-hmm.
But I once heard somebody say like, oh, it takes like so many years of hard work to become an overnight sensation. And I do believe that is the case with Julia because she has been around like doing things in the ether, but
Yeah.
just not in like the most mainstream way. And
Mm-hmm.
so I am just completely fascinated by her life, what she's doing. So, okay. So to talk about her upbringing, first
Yeah.
of all, born in Italy.
Boom.
Enough
So
said.
iconic of her.
Literally enough said.
So iconic of
Literally
her.
enough said. So she's born in Italy. She has an Italian mother and an American father. So she moves to New York when at the age of 6 and kind of
Mm-hmm.
goes back and forth from Italy at that point. So literally living between two iconic locations.
Yeah. Also, this is a good time to mention that she was born in Aquarius, which is the only
She is the
correct thing.
ultimate Aquarian. She
She is
is
so
the
Aquarius
ultimate Aquarian. Oh
with
my God.
with a North Node in Aquarius and everything else in Capricorn, Moon in Taurus. But yeah, so she
That
works
makes so
hard.
much
She's
sense.
so weird,
That's crazy.
but yeah,
No,
yeah,
Aquarians are actually like, I have to revisit my ranking of solar signs because Aquarians are like amazing, unparalleled really in
yeah,
the signs.
yeah. But I don't really know many of them personally because they're usually always so detached. I feel like from
I feel like I've met more of them, but like
everyone
when you
else.
hear a celebrity, like SZA is another celebrity Aquarian who's just like, it
Wait,
makes,
I thought she was a Scorpio.
no, I'm pretty sure she's an Aquarian.
I have to look this
Maybe
up
she
right now.
lied. SZA
She
does
could have.
lie. SZA does lie
SZA.
quite a lot, actually,
I know SZA is a Pisces moon.
to a concerning degree.
I'm pretty sure she is like exact. She has all of the same placement. She is a Scorpio because she has all the same
Oh, so I
placements as
lied.
Macy, basically. Her and SZA. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah. Okay, but
Okay, so I lied once again. I cannot stop lying on the
you are
podcast.
such a little
Um,
liar. Very Julia Fox of you.
I cannot stop spreading misinformation on the podcast. And so yeah, but yeah, and then once she kind of gets to New York, there wasn't exactly, I couldn't find out exactly what her father did for a living. I gleaned that her father owned a boat.
I think I feel like he was in business in some way. I think I read
Mhm.
that. No idea what her mommy did.
Yeah, but it felt like the dad definitely lives on the boat. And the boat is like
Mm,
is like almost another character in the story of her life.
yeah.
But yeah, so she's not, it's also always refreshing to read about somebody who like, because I feel like with like an overnight, like somebody who's like just smacks on the scene, you're like, oh, they have an incredible amount of wealth behind them. But
Yeah.
no, she is actually somebody who, like, by all accounts, like, what did not grow up particularly like wealthy. Her parents aren't in like the entertainment industry at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, so she's not like a industry plant or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Nepotism baby, nothing like that. But
And gourd.
but yeah, so she basically just grows up being in New York City, kind of
Mm-hmm.
like doing the whole socialite thing,
Yeah, she
is kind
recently
of the sense
posted
I got.
photos of her from high school, and
Yes,
she
with
was
the
so slay.
yeah, with the teenage dirtbag
Yep. Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, she definitely was smoking cigs at the age of like 14.
Oh, a thousand,
And
a
and for that
thousand.
I love her.
She went to the club for the first time at like 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Some people have to do that.
Yeah. And her childhood is just like crazy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so first of all, so one of the things I thought was very interesting was that for a time before she turned 18, by the way, I'm pretty sure she did work as a dominatrix.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. And so in an interview she did with the Hollywood Reporter, she had this to say. She said, I had heard about another girl who was doing it, and there was no sex and no nudity. It was all role playing. And I was like, I can do that. I can act. I can put on an outfit, you know. I did it and it was great. I really credit it when people ask me, oh, have you ever acted before?
Resume.
She
Acting
literally,
credit.
oh my God, she's literally like in like Hollywood castings, and they're like, so can you tell us about your prior experience? And she's like, well, I was actually a dominatrix.
So
Um,
I really I would do vocal viewpoints, get into that role. The whip.
she's like,
Yeah.
she's taking a rubber band. She's like, oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And I do think it has something to this prior experience did have something to do with her eventual role in Uncut Gems, and sort of the muse actually as that character.
yeah, because there was kind of, because it is during, you know, her time as like just a someone who's around New York being like a personality, kind of like a socialite, that she does
Mm-hmm.
attract the attention of
Yeah.
Jack Safdie,
Mm-hmm.
um, or Josh Safdie, I don't know, or
I forget
maybe,
which one, but
yeah, one of them.
they
They
literally
knew of
met in
her.
like a random
A coffee
cafe or
shop is what I
something.
read. Yeah.
Yeah. Like she is that person that
Got
someone like,
discovered off the street.
yeah, literally. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Um Yeah, but she has done so something that I was so surprised about was her work outside of acting,
Oh yeah.
which is
Oh
like
yeah.
so like it seemed like she also did this also very young.
Yes.
Like doing her photography. Can you talk about the gallery show? Did you look up what it looks like
Yeah, I
also?
did see some
Okay.
picture. I did see some pictures of it. So,
Okay.
obviously we have to think that like Julia Fox. I think something else that was interesting about Julia is that she is older, even though she seems like
Mm-hmm.
young. She's a little bit not older even, but like just older
She's
than
in
we're
her
used to like
30s.
celebrities being, especially celebrities when they break out. So like she's
Yeah.
32, 33, 34, I want to say, somewhere in that
Mm-hmm.
area.
Yeah.
Yes. And so a little bit older than like, you know, like Sydney Sweeney when she broke out or something like that.
Yeah.
And so obviously she had like a life kind of before this, and it wasn't always like trying to be an actress and break through like that. She's
Mm-hmm.
a very legit visual artist. So as Becca kind of indicated, she has self-published 2 books of photography.
Mm-hmm.
She posed nude in the last issue of Playboy, or the last nude issue of Playboy, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And then, or I don't know if this came before or after Playboy, but this is the most interesting thing.
Mm-hmm.
She created a gallery show called R.I.P. Julia Fox, where she explored her experience in sex work, domestic violence, and trauma, and colored some of the pictures with her own blood.
It's literally so slay.
Literally, yeah. And so I wrote in the outline MGK and Megan Fox want to be her so bad.
but
And
they
I
will never.
yeah. Um
It's
yeah,
true.
so it's very interesting. And I did see pictures um
Yeah, I just looked them
from it
up.
somewhere. Not on this one, but I'm looking at this weird, I don't know what that site is. It's somehow connected. The article I read about the gallery on is like somehow connected to the website YouPorn. And so it's very like
Oh,
porn
yeah.
focused.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so it has like I think from her Playboy shoot, but she also does
Mhm.
photograph herself nude a lot as well. But yeah, so she took a lot of she also I think probably prior to this gallery opening, she has experienced an overdose as well.
Oh,
Yeah, she has overdosed and she survived that very fortunately.
good.
And so yeah, a lot of that experience she kind of explored in RIP Julia Fox. And it wasn't just like, I mean, obviously it's not just like whoever doing something. Like
Hmm.
it was like actually a legit like art show and gallery exhibition that she was able to open, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Um, and obviously she was experimenting with some different mediums. Um, and so yeah, it's really interesting. She just has this whole like cool, complex life
Hmm.
before like the general public kind of starts to learn who she is a little bit more.
Yeah. So interesting.
Hmm.
I love the quote you pulled from her,
Hmm.
which is, I always knew there was more for me. I just didn't know if I could access it.
Hmm.
So interesting. Which is like,
Yeah.
I feel like many artists think like that. And like she
Hmm.
literally, she did it. She
Yeah.
accessed
I,
it.
I I think that's one of the reasons I found her so inspiring is because, and obviously I only see it after it's all been done, but it seems like she wasn't afraid to just try things and to
Yeah.
just say, okay, well, I'm into like photography right now. Let me self-publish books of photography.
Hmm.
I have all these experiences that I want to do something like creative with. Oh, what if I made like a gallery show?
Yeah.
Like doing just all this different stuff
Hmm.
because she obviously is a creative, has a creative energy about her, and realized that the best way to open doors for that creativity is to just create and make shit.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She opened her, it's a lot of the stuff I'm going through with like, I'm kind of parsing out with like the artist way. It's like, it feels like Julia Fox like really used this time of her life to like open herself up
Hmm.
to what is going on with her now.
Yeah.
And there's
Wow.
something super inspiring about all that.
Literally, this
And
is she's
she
so
has, yeah,
inspiring.
she's like a treasure trove of like quotes. Like if you can see past like the goofy like woo-ness of it all, especially like the early stuff, like
Hmm.
she was dropping some like crazy
Some truth.
knowledge. She
Yeah.
also had, what was the clothing line called?
Oh, I forget, but she made it with a friend. That was a whole thing
Yes.
also, like being a fashion designer.
Oh yeah, and she had a very successful brand as a fashion designer. Um
Franzica Fox, it
yeah,
was
Franzica
called.
Fox.
Yeah.
So yeah, so she did this whole she did a fashion line with her friend who's now one of her like top stylists and all that kind of stuff. And who now kind of
Yeah.
has fame in her own right and stuff. And like I
Hmm.
saw Kylie Jenner like did one of their campaigns. There were all
Hmm.
these different celebrities wearing their stuff. And so she's found success in like multiple different arenas.
Yeah. Yeah. She really just did try everything. And I
Hmm.
love that. I I feel like the whole every time you're go every time, not okay. The whole time you're growing up and like school and even college is very like once you do this class, once you get this degree, you can be this.
Yes,
And it's like, why can't I do every single thing that I
I
want to
want to
do?
do. Yeah. Hmm.
Like, which is what I actually did like about our 3-year program, even though it's not like you got to try everything thing that you wanted to because you didn't have to have like a focus. That's how I felt, at least.
Yeah.
Which was good. There are obviously downsides to that. But anyway, we won't talk about that now.
Yeah.
One thing I couldn't did Julia go to college?
I don't think so. I did not. I feel like I would have come
Okay.
across that at some point.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think she just graduated high school and then started literally just boom, boom, boom doing stuff.
Doing
Just rock on
whatever.
to that. Yeah.
Yeah. She also, or maybe I'll get to that later, but I will also say that she has copied us in that she also does have a podcast.
I never knew this.
Yeah, she has a podcast called Forbidden Fruit that she hosts.
Wow.
And I listened to an episode of it where they like literally just talked about her the whole time. Because it was right after her
Oh my
and
God.
Kanye broke up.
Okay. Wow.
And that's kind of the other thing where I think her performance of celebrity is so interesting.
Truly.
Because there are people who do things to agitate.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think most people are famous, or not most people, but a lot of people are famous. I say like Nikita Dragon randomly
Mm-hmm.
is the most prominent example of this. People who are famous because they have figured out how to make people mad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Trisha.
Trisha Paytas, like another one.
Yeah.
Sometimes Trisha, I can't tell if it's intentional or not.
Yeah, we don't know.
Nikita, it definitely is like there's something cynical and sinister about her.
Yeah, calculated.
Yes, very calculated about her. I don't know if I think Trisha has moments of calculation, but I also think there are some aspects of her that are genuine.
There's so much to factor in
There's
there.
so
Yeah.
much there's so
We
many
can't.
and so but Julia, I respect that she does things to instigate and owns up to it. Like,
do you have a specific?
well, she said one of the interviews I was reading, she said that her relationship with Kanye West was mostly like just a publicity, like she admitted it was a publicity
Yeah.
stunt. She's like,
Yeah.
we were in the middle of a pandemic, I just want to give people something to talk about.
She's so fucking for real for that.
No, she's like,
Be for real. And
like,
she was.
be real, girl, be real. She's like, she's not like, there's not much more to it than that. I mean, and it
Yeah.
sounds like she did like enjoy her experience and she had, a certain level of love for Kanye or whatever, but like she was also like, yeah, I kind of that was part of it as well. And I
Yeah.
respect that so much.
I know. Yeah.
Because it's
Because if
like,
it's one thing we love, it's honesty.
yeah. And it's like it's just you can't like you can't walk out looking the way that like her and Kanye did together and not expect people to treat you like any other couple.
Yeah.
Like I think she understands that it always looked calculated, and so why not just be like, yeah, it was calculated.
Yeah.
Like why try to
what's so
hide
wrong
it
about
a
it?
little
Yeah.
bit?
Exactly. No, she definitely has like a great like framework and
Mhm.
like view of reality,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
which is like something that especially celebrities struggle with.
And she doesn't seem bitter at all.
No, she seems happy. Have you ever seen that video of her of the paparazzi like trying to get a photo of her, but she's with her son and she's like, "Can I give you my number and we'll reschedule? Like I just want to get my son in the car." And like she's being
No.
so nice with the paparazzi and like she gives this guy her number. She's like, "We'll do it another time. I'll put on an outfit and like he'll get your photos, but I just like have to take my son home right now." And it's like she's so for real for that. Like she's
Literally.
so real.
No, I think,
Like,
yeah, I think
wow.
I think she's smart. She's like cracked the code a little bit and that she's willing to play the game a little bit.
Yeah, she is.
She's willing to play the game. Like she's willing to play with like an open hand a little bit. And
Yeah.
and because I was like, when I read about her life, I was like, oh, this like, she's had all these like, it seems like she's not had like the easiest, most charmed life ever.
Yeah.
But and it never felt cynical at all.
Yeah, no. And that's something also I really like looking at her. She could be the world's biggest supervillain, but she chooses
Oh,
not to
oh,
be.
1,000%. I think it's
Ha-
interesting because she kind of presents herself as a supervillain. Like her
yeah,
fashion is very
villain.
supervillain-esque.
Yeah. Like
Um,
she's towing that line, but she
but
has
she's
not
also
crossed
just
it.
like so joyful. Like the Vanity
Yeah.
Fair party, a great example. She's literally wearing a dress that is choking her. Like the design of the
Yeah.
dress is like this, like choking her.
Yeah.
And she has like this deep black like charcoal smeared on her eyes, and she like
Mm-hmm.
that.
She's
Yeah, she's
yeah.
very much this at the camera, but then
Mm-hmm.
she's talking and she's just like the sweetest person ever.
Literally.
And it's like, this is so interesting.
Yeah. Proving again, you don't have to be just one thing.
Yeah,
You
literally.
can quite literally be everything
Hmm.
all at once.
Everything everywhere all at once. Yeah.
Yeah, and be
You
perfect.
can be Michelle Yeoh. Exactly. Um, and yeah, also her fashion. ah,
It's so it is so futuristic. It will be cited
I
in the
love it.
future
I
as a
I
part of
love her
history.
fat and like okay, obviously, so I think I'm glad we're starting to have the conversation of like, is this fashion, is this stylish, or is the person just skinny?
It's a great point to bring up.
And similarly to how, so, and there are a lot of people like Dua Lipa.
Yeah,
I think most of the time she's just skinny.
that's fair.
Like, but Julia Fox, I would say, like, is doing cool stuff with fashion, like genuinely.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
I find her embracing of like fetish wear and like PVC, all this stuff kind
Mm-hmm.
of associated with sex and like sexual acts and fetish and all that kind of stuff. I find it so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Um and I don't know if it's because I already really love that stuff as like fashion statements, and she's kind of like going out in public to like fashion events being like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm gonna wear, a full PVC thing,
Yeah.
like there's
No,
this thing
like
on her Instagram. She was wearing like this yellow, like mini dress thing that like literally wrapped all the way around her head, and it laced in the middle with like black laces. And was just like open, and her head was coming through like the lacing, and then she was wearing like black thigh highs with it. It was so like cool and avant-garde, and I was just like, oh.
no, yeah, she definitely has an appreciation for like clothes and fashion as true art. Like she's just an
Yes.
artist through and through.
Yeah,
Everything she
she's just an
does,
artist. Like it's
it's
crazy.
performance. Like
Yeah.
we definitely need to talk about her. I don't know. I feel like also Judith Butler would have one thing or two to say about Miss Julia.
Judith Butler is writing her next book on Julia Fox. I have that.
And
I have that
I'm
on good
ready.
word. Oh my God. Yeah. I don't even know if it's like, yeah, it's crazy. Some my friend showed me a picture of Julia Fox that unfortunately I can't save because I still don't have a phone. Um,
Mm.
but she's wearing a shirt that said canceled adjacent.
Oh, I saved that. Wait, I'll
Oh
show you right
yeah.
now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Don't
Mm-hmm.
even worry. No, I literally
Yeah.
screenshotted it because I was like, this is so true. This is so true. She's wearing her eyeliner, and
Mm-hmm.
there's just something about her. Please let
That's
me show you.
magical. Yeah.
Okay, just trust me there.
Yeah, I know
You
what the
can
shirt looks
only
like. It's
see her
fine. Oh
eyes.
my God.
So scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just intoxicating.
Yeah, she's just a genius.
Yeah.
But then there is also like she's so like she's so like when you read about her, you find so many little interesting little tidbits. So one
Yeah.
thing that was funny is like actually the only time I have ever seen her kind of do something a little bit more cynical is she posted a Daily Mail article after her and Kanye had broken up, where it's
Hmm.
like it had like pictures of her walking through like an airport, and it was like a tearful Julia Fox roams through an airport. And she was posting something on her Instagram story being like, Daily Mail, this is all lies. Like, I'm okay. Everybody's doing okay. And she literally just drops that she hasn't cried since 1997,
I like,
which is the year my 25-year-old brother was born.
oh my God.
She claims she hasn't cried in 25 years.
It's crazy.
And then she immediately retracted it because she said she admitted she cried on February 6th, 2022, on the anniversary or on the birthday of a friend of hers who had died.
Oh my God. Mark this day.
Literally. And so like,
That's crazy.
literally. And so like there's just crazy stuff like that. Also something I found out through listening to the podcast is she used to have an a tattoo of her ex's name on her vagina.
I wonder so many things about this. I
Yeah, because
wonder so many
they kept
things.
saying on her vagina, and I was like, okay, so
And also used to.
yeah, they got it
So like
removed. Yeah, she got it removed.
that's even crazier in a way. Cause like
She had
who
two
else's
tattoos of his
business?
name on her body.
Really?
Yes, yeah.
Wow. This is crazy. Was it her ex-husband?
No, it
Because
was
she
not her
has been married
ex-husband.
before.
No, it was not
Okay.
her ex-husband. It was not Valentino's father. It was, I
Yeah.
forget, she says his name in the podcast. I forget
That's
though.
so interesting though.
He's not like famous at all.
Okay. Well, yeah.
He's just some guy she knew. But
Yeah.
and felt so strongly about she got a literal tattoo on her vagina.
From my understanding, when I hear like I think it is like I think they do like, and I'm sorry, but they like pull the lip and then they like write on the lip of it.
That is actually insane.
But like if I'm already there and I have that tattoo there, I'm just gonna let that be. I'm gonna
Yeah.
let that be no matter what it
Like, what are
says.
you putting your body through at that point?
Yeah, exactly. To laser it off.
Or maybe it's just like, okay, well, I already literally let somebody put a hot poker and ink on this. So, like, why not? How much more damage can I do to my labia?
I
um,
must ask myself.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, crazy.
wow. Wow.
Crazy stuff. And then also, another thing I think about Julia is that she's always been a hustler.
Yeah.
Like, I think she's always found ways to support herself. And a lot of that comes from the fact that she hasn't come from like the most well-off circles. And obviously she was living in like one of the famously most expensive places to live,
Hmm.
and doing like expensive things. And so it seems like she found a bunch of ways to kind of sustain herself. And
Hmm.
so one thing that I enjoyed is in one interview, she said, she used to buy drugs from like a housing project she lived near, and she would sell them to the rich kids she like ran in circles with.
Yeah. And it's something I've always thought about doing. And I'm so glad she did it.
It's an economic model I have thought about.
Yeah.
It's a business model. Yeah, uh, she's just a
Yeah.
genius. She's just a genius.
And usually, so like, usually, I don't know, we can bring up pretty privilege and stuff. In
Mhm,
this case, I think that she just, I don't know if I can even call it pretty privilege, or she used her beauty and her people's obsession then with her to
mhm.
the best ways that she could. Like
Yeah,
she really did the work.
I don't even know if, yeah, it's interesting to think about how her like beauty plays into all of it.
Hmm.
I would say more than pretty privilege. I think she's somebody who is not afraid of her sexuality. I was actually just thinking about this today,
Mm.
not in the context of Julia Fox, but there's a difference
Hmm.
between being sexualized and having a sexuality.
Mm.
And I would say in her own representation of herself, she's never sexualized, but
Hmm.
she does have like a clear sexuality.
Yeah.
And I think she is willing to do that in a way where like a lot of other, like, that explains the fashion, that explains, you know, posing for
Mhm.
Playboy, that explains, you know, some of the photos from her photography.
Yeah.
She's willing to do some things because I think she's never really had like a solid like goal, and so she's less afraid to be like, she doesn't think in the way of like, oh, if I pose nude for Playboy, then I'm not going to be able to be in yada yada yada. It's like, no, she
Mhm.
posed for Playboy and then she was in an A24 film.
Yep.
And you know, she is working on a bunch of stuff right now, and she has a blossoming career, and she shows
Mhm.
you kind of can have it all if you're just kind of authentic,
Yeah.
because she's just kind of doing what she wants to do.
It's true.
And if you're just like, okay, well, that's just like a part of what I did, then if people were really invested in you, they'll just be like, okay, work, you know?
Okay, and it's
Yeah,
true.
literally. Yeah, and then there's,
Oh.
so I guess people really started to become aware of her when she was in Uncut Gems, which I
Mhm.
did mean to watch in preparation for this, but
I don't know.
guys, movies are hard for me.
It's long too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I read that as well. And so
Really? Yeah.
what about that?
Yeah.
Oh, and also like when you read about the people who were up against her for like the Uncut Gems,
Mhm.
like apparently like Jennifer Lawrence was up to play that role. I forget what the
Mhm.
other like big name was, but she basically, she was talking about it in the interview, and she's like, yeah, they really wanted a big name to like be in the movie,
Yeah.
but she,
Boom.
relatively unknown to the public,
She ate
they
that.
liked her so much that they were like,
Yeah.
and I hear her
Do it.
performance is very good.
Yeah. She was great in it.
Hmm.
So there you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. And so yeah,
What
that's kind of what we all
why
found,
w-
what we found out
why
about
was
Julia
she,
Fox.
do we know why she was on Call Her Daddy? Was there a specific thing she was like promoting then? Or was it just
I don't know if it
like
was a specific thing. Well, was it while she was still dating Kanye, or was it like right after they
that's
broke
what
up?
I think it might have been right after they broke up. So maybe it was just like a
Maybe
clear
it was
the
literally
air
just
thing.
that.
Yeah, could be. Yeah.
Miss Alex Cooper, she's on the beat. Something about Alex Cooper.
Fingers the pulse.
Yeah. No,
Mhm.
I think about often, this is gonna be a little bit of a tangent, but I think about often how like the Call Her Daddy thing will go down as like one of the most significant things to happen in media in like this
Yeah.
era.
Mass communication classes are that's gonna be in the 101, babe.
Literally,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that was like such a significant event we all lived through and like didn't really realize at the time, because much like much like the Uncut Joms, it feels kind of
Hmm.
frivolous and weird.
Yeah.
But the fact that Miss Girl was able to like take that and not only like save her show and her brand,
Hmm.
but also then literally spin $100 million Spotify deal off of it.
Yeah, crazy.
I just can't wait for
And
Becca and I to do the exact same thing
I know.
in 4 weeks' time.
Together. Doot, doot. And then hopefully we'll get to talk to Anna Delvey.
No, and Anna Delvey was also on Julia Fox's podcast. I'm like, why? I'm like, why is this woman calling in from literal prison?
That
Like,
could have made me pass out right then and there. That is so funny. Julian Fox and Anna Delvey talked.
they are in conversation. Yeah, like on the internet, and you can go listen to it for free
I'm definitely gonna go
with a Spotify
do that.
subscription.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hmm.
Listen
Hmm.
for free if you pay.
You can listen for free, but only if you pay first.
Okay. So think about that.
And so yeah,
Consider
so
that.
just something to consider.
Wow.
But
Wow.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, we're obsessed.
that's what Julia Fox is up to. She's shooting many
Mhm.
movies. She of course also has little Valentino, her
Yes, I
child.
was gonna say a mother.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
she
which
seems
is
to be a good
crazy to
one.
think about. Yeah,
Yeah.
little Mr.
So
Valentino.
so cute.
Hmm. Yeah, that was the
Mm-mm.
other thing she was talking about in the podcast, is like she's like, yeah, I don't have nannies or anything.
She just
Like,
does it herself.
yeah, she's like, I'm with him a lot, or like I'll have people, like my family helps me, and
Hmm.
like, or baby, like she'll have babysitters, but she doesn't have somebody like that like kind of lives
Hmm.
in with her, or like, you know, is
Yeah.
there every day like helping her.
Hmm. Man, I really want a house tour from her. I want to see what her room looks like.
Oh my God.
Her
Well,
bedroom.
never know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
Guys,
my
big
God.
things in the works. Right
Big
now,
things in the world.
just ideas, just
Just
a Word doc,
ideas,
but you never
literally.
know.
But you never
Yeah.
know what could happen. If you want the next step, literally share this podcast with everybody you know and make us
Yeah.
famous, please.
Especially any people you know at Netflix. That would be really
Or
helpful.
HBO.
Yeah, we would
Yeah.
accept either. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Maybe even Showtime, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah. Okay. So have we adequately kind of
Talked
covered
about
Julia
Julia?
Fox and given
I
her
believe so.
career a good? Okay, cool. So
Yeah.
we're gonna throw to a little break and then we'll be back to do our little segments.
Guys, I'm scared.
Oh my God. I can't believe that just happened.
Ow.
Oh, word.
All right. So it's time to do our weekly segments. This
Mhm.
time, a little more focused on the topic at hand. So we're going
Mhm.
to start with jump scares of maybe something that scared us about Julia,
Mhm.
involving Julia, somehow related to Julia, something that we find negative. This might be hard to do because we're such positive people all the time. But Quinn, I will ask you if anything possibly did scare you.
This is just intuitively what came to my mind at first, and it's not
Sure.
necessarily a negative thing, but there's this one picture of Julia where she had bleached eyebrows for a little while, which Becca and I are big fans of.
Yes.
And she was doing the whole like pencil thin thing, which was good that she had bleached eyebrows because then she could just draw them on top because she didn't have to like
Mhm.
over tweeze or anything.
Yeah.
But there's this one like kind of terrifying photo of her that she posted on her Instagram where she like has her hands on her hips and she's like,
Whoa, staring hard.
yes, and it's like you're getting like scolded by her almost.
Ooh, that is a little spooky.
And it is just scary when you first look at it. It's funny, but it's simultaneously kind of like terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And she is someone who has the power to do that so easily.
yeah.
So that makes a lot of
And
sense.
she also has like such blue eyes that she can like stare into your soul a little bit.
I know, and I thought that was interesting because don't all Italians like have brown eyes? I thought that was just like a rule. I don't know.
No.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I guess that's my bad.
I
All
don't
right.
I don't know. I don't know what Italian phenotypes look like.
Yeah.
But
Is that
yeah.
it? Yeah. Well,
But yeah, Becca, what is something
spooky.
that scares you about Julia Fox?
Mm.
Or maybe the reaction to Julia Fox, or
Mm. Yeah. Okay, so I will tell a little bit of a story time that I actually have not told you yet.
oh my God.
But it was soon after I discovered Julia that
Uh-huh.
actually I was like thinking about her and I was like, I wonder what she's gonna do next. And then I was like, I was high at this
Mm-hmm.
moment. And I was like, actually, now that I think about it, Julia looks a lot like my one cousin. And then I
Ryan.
would oh, I wish. No. Other side of the family. And I was like, I wonder if I am somehow related to Julia Fox, or at least my cousin is. So I was really high and I was digging deep into instead of looking at her family tree, which probably would have been easier, I was looking at my family tree, trying to find the word fox. And I did that and then till I fell asleep. And I still don't know to this day, but I
was like,
did
did you
convince
find
myself.
something?
No, I just forgot about it, I think.
Well, long lost relatives is not anything new to the MPJ cinematic universe.
It's entirely possible.
Which you guys don't know about yet, but Becca and I very
Yeah.
much do. And so,
Entirely possible. Yeah.
more on that later. As
Stay
always.
tuned. Stay
Stay
tuned.
tuned. Watch this space. I also
Yeah.
do. I don't know if it's just because we have dark hair and blue eyes. Well, you don't have super dark hair now or naturally, it feels like, but I
Mm-mm.
do have very Foxian features in that I have very dark hair, or not very
Yeah.
dark, but like actually it's pretty dark because like even now in like the middle of the summer, it's still pretty dark.
Yeah. I mean,
And I do have
no.
blue eyes.
Yeah. No.
So I do feel like her a lot.
And my one cousin does actually really look like Julia. Like they have similar
Oh,
features. I also think that I'm pretty sure that Julia is Jewish and it's my Jewish cousin. So I was like,
okay.
that definitely has to be, that's a lead. That feels like a
That's the
lead.
lead. Mhm.
So yeah, I don't know. I just thought,
Yeah.
yeah, but now I'm scared because I don't know if it's true that I'm related to her, but I do hope and wish.
I could want nothing more for a person than to be related to Julia Fox.
Literally, her little son is so lucky.
Mr.
I wish my
Valentino.
mom was Julia Fox. Yeah.
I'm obsessed with naming your child Valentino as well.
Yeah, I might just do it for fun. Call
Little
them
Valentino.
Tino.
Who? I think there's a celebrity child whose name I do really enjoy, or no celebrity names. I think I was thinking about Kit Connor, and I was like, Kit's such a good name.
I like the name Kit.
I like that name.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right. Well, now that we've gotten the scary out of the way, the
yes.
fearful,
Mhm.
the frightened, um, let's talk about our manic pixie moment with Julia Fox. Anything? I mean, there are so many options here because there's so much about Julia that is so manic pixie.
Mhm.
But I'll throw it over to you, Quinn, to describe a sleigh of Julia's or anything you really associate most positively with her.
Mhm. I think I think really just the entirety of, I know I've brought it up a lot, but the Vanity Fair Oscars party,
Mm.
the Vanity Fair's Oscars after party, and they talk about it on the podcast I keep referring to. Um I just think everything about Julia that night was so artful. The
Mm-hmm.
look, the makeup, her being so incredibly high.
Yeah. Bloodshot eyes.
Literally. And I remember there was a tweet. It was like, I can relate to Julia Fox because she's just a girl being high in public, which I am a lot. Like if somebody
Literally.
tweeted that, and I was like, undeniable, actually.
Yeah, I cannot argue
She
with
was
this.
giving very much you and me at the Morplica party.
Yeah, literally. And
Yeah,
all the
she was,
photos.
yeah, literally. It was very much that. Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I forget which came first, but it was very much that kind of situation.
Mm-hmm.
But there's, yeah, and also when she was being interviewed, and of course she has the moment of, um, well, it just kind of started as, something, and now it's just my first book. Like it started as my memoir, and now it's just my first
My
book.
first book. And I
Yeah.
haven't finished it yet, but it is a masterpiece.
And it's
Okay.
like, no, it's after and after reading about her, I'm like, oh, she does believe that genuinely. And she
And
is right.
honestly, I believe it.
And she is right. And
Yeah.
I'm buying into it. I also love the part where they're like, oh, you did your makeup yourself? And she just goes, yes. like so sweetly and innocently while she's dressed as like goth Loch Ness monster. Like
Oh my God.
and she's like,
So adorable.
yeah.
Yes.
Like she's so cutesy about it.
Cutesy,
Oh my
cutesy little
god.
ladybug.
Literally.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Vanity Fair Oscars party, I'm obsessed with everything about it. And
Mm-hmm.
Julia Fox's performance that night. But yeah, but Becca, what is your manic pixie moment when it comes to Ms. Fox?
Yeah. Okay. So again, there's so much to choose from, but I
Mm-hmm.
think I am going to mention one look which we I don't think we specifically mentioned it. And
Mhm.
that is her denim on denim on denim bag. That is just a pair of jeans, her bag was.
Uh-huh.
Um, I think it's something with also denim boots. And it's something that I've always really respected is when denim on denim can be pulled off well. Do
Uh-huh.
you know what I'm citing? Here,
Yes.
let me drag and
Well,
drop also. There's many
I
denim on denim looks from her.
yes, I do understand. I know when she did denim on denim with Kanye, and it was cool because it was textured. Like she
Mm-hmm.
had a lot of different textures going on.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I understand specifically what this one is.
It's the one where she made the Instagram tutorial also where she cut jeans and created this look. I wonder if I can drop it in the chat if that will work. Um, maybe not. Um, she cut the top of her jeans off and flipped it upside down to make a top that is 3 inches tall. And then she has a bag that is just also a pair of
Oh, I am
jeans.
seeing it. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And when I saw that, I, I also was like, okay, everything low rise I hate. This, again, it's just art. It's artwork. And she is a true creative that
She
she just
also has
did
a
that.
crazy body for low rise.
Literally.
Like her
Her,
proportions are like perfect for low rise.
yeah, literally.
Because
It's
the way her hips jut it, like the way her like waist has that natural like
hourglass. No, yeah, she
yes, like
truly
it's
is so
insane.
beautiful. Yeah. She's a perfect
And like
body
not
for
in a
sure.
malnourished way either. Because sometimes you see people and you're like, oh, they're like
No,
unhealthy.
no, she also looks strong, which is something I like about her.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
She looks
it seems
fit.
like her body is just like that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I definitely also do. I need a house tour from her and a what I eat in a day. I'd be fascinated to know what she consumes.
She was talking about that on this podcast again
Oh,
because
good.
she was talking about how she lost a bunch of weight and how people were like concerned about her and she was like it's literally just because I'm so busy. But she's
Oh,
like
wow.
and she was talking about how she's like yeah, I feel like I'm eating like more than ever.
Wow.
Which now that I do say it does sound like people trying like does sound like could be construed as like somebody who has an eating disorder being like, "Oh no, guys, I'm fine."
Right.
But
Again,
I
I do
don't there's
believe
something about her I
her.
trust.
Yeah. It's just innate.
I believe women, and especially when that woman is Julia Fox.
What can I say? Yeah.
If she started a
So,
cult, like
unfortunately, I would
I
buy
could
into that.
yeah, I could see myself being like
A
uh
foxy.
yeah, a foxy, keeping it
Yeah.
foxy. Wah, wah.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So all in all, Becca and I love Julia Fox.
We love her
And
so much.
this little episode has only brought us closer to her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Julia, I hope you hear this.
Julia, I hope you're listening so hard. We'll
And I
tag you
hope
in this.
she is someone who I feel like would like us.
I think so.
Like I think she'd like our vibe.
Julia,
Cause like I know
please.
like HRH would hate us.
Yeah.
But Julia, she'd just be like, oh, yeah.
Aw.
Wait,
She'd be like,
also,
you guys are so sweet, I think she would say.
yeah. There was also she's like, I love your vibe. There was also the night, I don't know what event it was at, but when she was with Rina Sawayama and she did like the super low rise where like tattoo of her boyfriend's name was almost out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, was was it like a meme that she was dressed as a centaur or was that real?
Wait. I think that wait. It was at it was the most recent it was a fashion show recently that she was
Because
at.
she was with Rina, she was photographed with Rina Sawayama, another person, and then the person she ran Francisca Fox with, who's her
Yeah,
stylist.
it was a meme.
Okay,
Someone
yeah.
took a photo and edited the horse body onto it. Yeah.
If she stepped out as a centaur, it wouldn't even be surprising to me.
No, literally. But
I
she was
I
serving horse feet in that
literally I asked
outfit.
this question this weekend, but would you rather be a centaur or a mermaid? I must know.
Do you want to guess on 3? Wait,
Yeah.
I'll guess you and you guess
Mm-hmm.
me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Mermaid.
Centaur?
Mm-hmm.
You
You're
were
right about
right.
me.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah. No, yeah, it's fine.
exactly. Yeah. Mhm.
Wait, why?
Why do I think you would want to be a mermaid, or why do I want to be a
No.
centaur?
Why do you want to be a centaur?
I don't know.
I
It
think
seems
it's obvious why I want to be a mermaid.
I don't know. Being a centaur seems kind of cool. Like I
It's so
think I do
Sagittarius
have
of
I do
you.
have yeah, Sagittarius, obviously. I
Yeah.
also have the horse kind of thing in my background.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Um yeah, I just think it would be kind of cool. I think it would
All
be, and
right.
you could still like have like the whole life on land and stuff,
Okay.
which I enjoy, but maybe I'm not opening myself up enough to life in the ocean.
I mean, you've never
Um,
been there. You've never been down there.
you've never
So
been to heaven, exactly. And so a lot of people haven't been to the ocean.
and
There's
that's
so
not
much of
my
the
fault.
there's so much of the ocean we don't know about is the other thing. Like mermaids know
It's
so
true.
much. Mermaids know
Yeah.
more than centaurs, I would say.
Yeah. And I would be be happy to, give the information I do know to humans so they can write little
Mhm.
books about it. Sure.
Yeah.
hmm
No, but what if it's like Harry Potter centaur and mermaids where both of them are like extremely like ugly creatures?
What a bummer.
Yeah.
I guess I would still do it though.
Yeah.
I used to want to be a mermaid so bad. I
Or
used
it's
to
like reverse mermaid where it's head of a fish and legs of a
ew,
human.
human.
And then like reverse centaur where you kind of look like BoJack Horseman, I guess.
Ew, both of those are really
I guess
upsetting.
that's the reverse of a centaur. But yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Well, that's where our conversation on Julia Fox went.
Nice. Yeah.
But yeah.
So quickly.
So another Stainless deep dive done. Julia, where can
Yeah. Whoa. Maybe I am. Maybe I am related to her. Oh my gosh. Not on camera.
not on candid camera. On candid camera on outdoors internet. Wow.
Quinn
Wow.
calling me
Okay.
the wrong name. I almost did call you Julia. I almost said Julia called me the wrong name. Oh,
Intentionally or unintentionally?
by accident.
See, you understand. It's just
But I stopped myself. I called you
okay.
Quinn
I'm a
because I
fire
know
sign.
your
It's
name
not
is
in my
Quinn.
nature to think before I speak.
It's true. Yeah.
It's something I have to like try at
Yeah.
actively.
You're getting better.
Okay.
You're getting better.
Becca,
Yeah.
where can people keep up with you individually?
They can follow me on Instagram at Julia Fox, on Twitter. JK. On Instagram at Becca Hobart, Twitter,
Mhm.
Bex Gloss, and TikTok, where y'all going during World War III. And they can also find me doing Julia Fox's eyeliner look for the next 365 days.
Oh my God.
Quinn, where can the people keep up with you individually?
You can keep up with me at Quinn P. Murphy on Instagram and TikTok. And then you can find me at Quinn P. Murphy _, on Twitter. And you can find me searching for various garments that Julia Fox has worn on the internet and looking at them because it's not quite in my budget to buy. But if I could, I may, erect a museum to them.
Wow, how beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
But Becca, where can people keep up with the show?
They can follow Manic Pixie Jump Scare on Instagram and TikTok and
Yeah.
YouTube. They can subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, thumbs up, and comment on every video, guys, because
Literally,
we
yeah.
do post the podcast there where you can watch and also watch exclusive content that doesn't make it into every episode. So that's super
Yeah.
special and fun. And then please, please, please email into manicpixiejumpscare@gmail.com to be featured on a comment corner in one of our regular episodes, not our deep dives. Unless you
Well,
want to foresee which topic we're doing, then feel
Yeah.
free to send an opinion in.
if you want to open your third eye and into it,
Yeah.
or if you do have something you really want to add into like the
Mhm.
Stanless discourse, we could also place those here or in the regular episode. So if you're sitting at home and you're like, well, Julia Fox did this thing and I want to talk about it, we would love to, we could use that for either of the episodes. So, you know, whatever,
about it.
guys.
Yeah,
But
guys.
and if you know it's gonna be a long time till we get to like swimming in the ocean, but you want to tell us a traumatic or a lovely story about when you swam in the ocean,
Yeah.
we're open to that as well.
Yeah. We will star that. Save that for later.
Literally.
So, yeah.
Becca and I are nothing if not patient.
Ugh, literally. Well, we're Quinn. And we're Becca. And thank you
for
listening. Uncut Jams.
Uncut Jams. Yeah, so it started as my memoir and now it's just like my first book.
Manic Pixie Jump Scare is hosted by Quinn Murphy
and Becca Hobart. Executive produced by Quinn Murphy and Becca Hobart.
Sound and video editing by Quinn Murphy.
Social media management and highlights by Becca Hobart.
And our theme song was written by Quinn Murphy, Becca Hobart, and Nandita Mahesh.